Mick Dizzle Gaming coming at you. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you are doing well today. Happy New Year, and hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and subscribe to keep up to date on all Rockstar news, leaks, live streams, and a whole lot more. So, very credible news site, Game Informer, recently dropped an article called The Version of Bully 2 That You'll Never Get to Play. This article gives great insight on where Rockstar Studios' culture was in the late 2000s, details on Bully 2's gameplay and length, and a lot more. I have a link to the article in the description if you want to have a read through it. In today's video, we're going to talk about this article and how it ties into the Tom Henderson leak that Bully 2 was supposed to be revealed at the Game Awards, and what this means for the future of the Bully franchise. For this interview, Game Informer was able to interview 6 former Rockstar employees from both the New England studio and the New York headquarters. Here are some quick points. It looks like Bully 2 was in development between 2008 and 2010 prior to the release of Red Dead Redemption. There was roughly in between 50 and 70 people working on it. There was a large vertical slice of the game completed that was roughly 6 to 8 hours and very playable. The game would have needed roughly another 2 to 3 years to be completed, and what happened is people kept being pulled off the project and put in development for other games that needed help, like Red Dead Redemption 1. There was also leaked concept art and screenshots, and these contacts have confirmed that this is mostly legitimate. I think this is really cool to think about. This is what Bully 2 may have looked like in 2009. That's a little background. Let's get into the gameplay details that they mentioned. Alright, map size. 3 different developers said the game's open world wouldn't be huge like Grand Theft Auto 4, but ranged it in the size in between Vice City's open world and 3 times the size of the original Bully school map. Now, it would have a lot more depth than size. For example, you could go inside every building. A progressive grass growing system. I know it sounds silly, but the developers were really excited around the technology behind it. You could go mow a lawn and then it would actually be lower. You could do a good job, go back and forth, create lines, that type of thing. Kinda cool. In-depth climbing mechanics, and that makes sense because that's one thing I would have liked to see updated from the original Bully. I also like to mention paintball guns, pew pew. And the next one's one good example of a system that made it into another game, which is Red Dead Redemption 2. They wanted to make sure that people remembered what you did, so if you pulled a prank on a neighbor, they'd remember it. So your actions had more meaning beyond a 20-foot radius and that 5-second memory of that character next to you. Parts of that system actually made it into the honor system in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is wild. The mission details sound pretty funny, including one involving go-karts, one with a beekeeper, a Camp Krusty style mission, and one that had Jimmy in his underwear, even featuring a crotch bulge. It might not work in this day and age, so I don't know if we'll see that. So we have all these details about a leaked, playable Bully back in the late 2000s. Although playable for 6 to 8 hours, still playable. How does this all tie into Tom Henderson's recent leak around Bully 2 supposedly being revealed at the Game Awards and getting pulled at the last minute? A couple weeks ago, Tom said that some people saw a playable version of Bully just a few weeks prior to the Game Awards and not the canned version. The canned version seeming to be what this article is actually discussing. Tom responded to this article and was pretty tight-lipped, of course, but he also did mention that it would be pretty unlikely for this canned version to be what his leak was referring to. Either way, this is an incredibly interesting article. I know that's a lot of information in a really short period of time, but I'm really interested to know your thoughts. Taking in all this information into consideration with Take-Two's development pipeline, it looks like 2023 and 2024 are going to be absolutely crazy. Take-Two has provided its development pipeline over the next 3 years. In fiscal year 2022, there's only 4 immersive core games coming out, and industry insiders have a good idea around what those already are. The big mystery is fiscal year 2023 and 2024, with 19 immersive core titles coming out, as well as a number of iterations of previously released titles. What does that mean for the future of Bully? Now, if Bully 2 does exist, I would not expect it to come out until fiscal year 2023 or 2024. I think there's a canned version from the late 2000s, but what journalists may have seen prior to the Game Awards would have been something new and different. Maybe that's what we'll see in 2023, 2024. What about you? Do you think we'll see Bully 2 in the upcoming future? Let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Have a great New Year's, and we'll see you in the next video or live stream.